Greetings and stalagmites, everyone. It is about 5:30 on Thursday, and today has been a fairly busy day. I did not manage to make it in today to work, because after my wonderful experience of being exhausted yesterday and passing out when I got home and waking back up, my foot decided that it did not want to work anymore, as tends to happen occasionally. After talking with one of my friends over the past few months, and doctors not knowing what it is, by doctor I mean my actual doctor, my primary care doctor, and the rheumatologist I went to, who had no idea what this thing is, I kind of self-diagnosed myself with plantar fasciitis, which is just something that happens. It just reoccurs every so often. There's things that you can do to keep it in control, like wearing good sole support, rolling your foot on ice and stuff like that. But last night it started hurting, and by the middle of the night, actually about 10 o'clock or so, my foot was throbbing in pain. So I decided I needed to somehow get to a podiatrist. After much recommendation from my sister. She even had commented back at me on Facebook going, "Did you go to a podiatrist yet?" And I said no. So, called my doctor's office first thing, and tried to see if I could get a appointment, see if I needed a referral to a podiatrist. Thankfully, since I have PPO, I don't need to, apparently. So then I called the podiatrist office. They said, well, there are no appointments available for about 3 weeks. So I figured just about all hope was lost. I managed to find some wonderful anti-inflammatories that had been left over from my mother, which helped somewhat, but it basically prevented me from getting up this morning and not being able to walk completely. Still hurt quite a bit to even... I still needed my cane, which doesn't work so well with biking. So, shortly after, the podiatrist said, well, we'll let you know if somebody cancels. An hour later, about 9:30 or so, they're like, well, can you come in at 11? I said, that's a bit soon. Sure I can make it. Anyway. So I get in there, and the title of today's post is, "You're going to feel a little pinch," and sure enough, I go in and I explain the whole situation, what's been going on with me. This has been going on for about 2.5 to 3 years. Nobody's figured out how to fix it. She kind of just started poking and prodding at various little spots in my foot, and it seemed, what was interesting to me was the fact that, I can't exactly show you very well, but take your big toe and your second toe and kind of do that with your foot a little bit. And when she did that to me, it hurt a lot. That seemed to be where the key part was. When I looked at my x-ray, I noticed that there was a decent amount of space between my first and second foot. The rest of the foot seemed skeletal, but in this case, it seemed like there was a fair bit of space between my toes. So I wonder, she came to the conclusion it was a nerve, which, once I mentioned I had lower back pain, she said, well, chances are it's probably related to those. Have you noticed there being any correlation between your back pain and your foot pain? I said, not really. It seems more like it's just plantar fasciitis, or fasciitis, however you pronounce it. In general, I don't know that it's really correlated with my back pain. Anyway, she thought it might be. And to continue doing my exercises for my back, which is doing some stretches, rolling on a foam pin, doing essentially what the chiropractor called the Captain Morgan while laying down and twisting. That's another exercise. But anyway, she suggested that I continue doing those. Come back in a month after, and she gave me some sole supports, which felt really weird to walk on, given I still can't walk on them very well, or on my foot very well. So, anyway, the pinch comes in because she said, well, we're going to put some local anesthetic on your foot. And when she said, put it on, I was like, yeah, okay, no big deal. She's going to rub it on and it'll absorb whatever, not take too long. No, she meant inject. For those of you who don't know me, I absolutely hate needles. Hate them. So, once she said that, I immediately kind of started, my blood pressure probably went up quite a bit. And she's like, just calm down, deep breath in, 3, 2, 1, and oh, it was the weirdest feeling. Like, I've had Novocaine injected into my gums for dentistry and stuff like that, but this, nah, it's just so weird. And then after the fact, I mean, even after she took the needle out, it still felt like it was in my foot for about 30 seconds or so afterward. Like, it was the unusual feeling of having something injected into my foot. And, so we did that, and then she started poking around again. It was like, do you feel that? I'm like, not as much. It seems like that may be the case. It's just nerves. I'm not sure. So she gave me the soul supports, said, come back in a month, and we may end up having to do physical therapy. Because I feel more so nowadays than ever that I'm almost 30 going on 60. Because it just feels like I'm falling apart. Like, I can't, between having a fever in December, which was probably the flu, having a bronchitis last week, and now my feet not working, and probably next week my back will act up, and I'll have to go back to the chiropractor. It's one thing after another, and this is the way, I think I mentioned in one of my previous Greetings and Stalagmites, that this is the way it seems to work. The first few months of the year, my body hates me and decides it's going to, everything that I've done over the rest of the year just builds up, and this is where it is. So, got the taxi home and promptly kind of rested for a bit, and here I am. Happy. In other news, if you did not know, Frozen should be coming out shortly on DVD Blu-ray. You can actually pre-order it now on Amazon. Best Disney movie ever. If you have not seen it, you need to go see it. This is not a you should, this is a you need to, because it's a very, very good movie. They did a wonderful job with it, and I for 2 or 3 months after I saw it, I'd been singing the soundtrack or listening to the soundtrack on repeat over and over and over, and even now, it's just, I know most of the movie by heart, but it's still just a wonderful, it's the first time since either Lion King or Aladdin that I wanted to watch it over and over and over and enjoyed it that much. So, there's that. Not sure what all else is going on this weekend. I have the house to myself. As I may have mentioned earlier in the week, I think that's really about it. I don't have too much else to report for today. Tomorrow I'm going to be taking it easy, since I still can't walk properly, even with the anesthetic she put in my foot, and I haven't taken the other anti-inflammatory since it would probably be too soon, but I'm just going to take it easy tomorrow, try not to walk around a lot, and over the weekend I know the anti-inflammatories will do their job. It's the way it's always worked so far. After about the second or third day, I'm back to normal almost. So, that's pretty much gonna do it. I'm running on about 9 minutes here, so I'm going to let you all go. And shout out to my sister Tracy. Thank you for suggesting I go to a podiatrist, because so far that's helped. At least I feel like I'm on the right path to diagnosing whatever this is, or at least getting it fixed. And that's going to do it. So, on that wonderful note, everybody take care, and take care of yourselves, mostly. Never forget to do that, because you may end up like me and end up being almost 30 and going on 60. Because your body starts feeling old after a period of time, and I thought when I was 25 I was invincible, and 5 years later I'm sitting here going, well, I don't know what I could have done to treat my body too much better, but I guess I can't. I'm not an 18-year-old anymore. Anyway, it's one of those times you just start feeling old. Anyway, everyone take care of yourselves and others, and until next time, good night, and good luck.